Hi everybody, it's Martyn at Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm going to tie for you a pike diver in pink and white colour scheme. I really like this colour for pike, especially top water. You can see this fly in action in my float tube pike video that I made in September there. As always, there will be a materials list in the description, along with a link to social media and the Patreon page for any people that would be interested in being entered into giveaways in the future. So, the hook I'm using, or the main hook, is a Partridge Attitude Extra. It's a size 4/0. You could tie them bigger or smaller, but I've got this set up so that I've got a nice like slow rise and float with this hook and the stinger. I'll just run on some thread. It's just white Danville's. You could use GSP if you like, doesn't matter. None of it's ever seen. Right, put a reasonable coat and a crisscross wraps on the shank there. And just get a wee touch with some super glue. Right from the start with your pike flies, especially if you're using hooks rather than tubes, I like to be building as much durability into these as I can. So for the stinger hook, I've got 9 inches of 50-pound single strand titanium, and I've got a 1/0 gamakatsu octopus. I like this hook. So I'm just got to line up both ends of this 9-inch piece, 25 centimetres. Oops. Stick them both through the hook eye. So you get this. Right, they're going in. The loops here and the points are here, so they're coming from the shank of the hook out over the eye. Then I'll put the hook through the loop. It can be a bit tricky. This wire is reasonably stiff. And I'll pull that back. You don't need to worry too much about fully tightening it. You know, that's enough. Finger tight's enough. I'll just measure it up. I just use the back of my vice here as my measure. And I like that hook just to be at the back of the hook, just to be at the edge of the vice, so I can get a rough idea where that is. And if I just nip the wire and push the tips through, that should still be sitting where I like it. And then I'll take run it open spirals to the front, and then fold this back. Right. Now run this all the way along. Just be careful when you come to the cut ends of the wire. Loose wraps at first just to sort of pad it out. Yeah, nice and secured. Then back to the glue. Got to saturate this. Loads of glue. I'll take my thread back. So that's the rig made. I mean, if you were tying any number of these, it'd be worth, you could do this stage. But for the purposes of the video, I'll just touch that with to dry off the glue and then continue. So first thing to tie in is a wee bit of white bucktail. And I'm not hollow tying it. Right. I'm just going to tie it the sort of conventional way. So we'll just cut it to length and let it run around the shank. Couple of gathering wraps. Tighten that up. Just make sure you get kind of reasonable coverage all the way around, and then tidy up your waist ends. Right, that just it's a nice wee bit of sort of foundation. So the next stuff I'm tying in, this is the flash blend from Silver Scales, but Chris has discontinued this as far as I know, and he's replaced it with I believe it's called Big Fish fibre. It's just a similar fibre without the flash mixed in. So I'm going to take a single bunch, about half a pencil, 3/4 of a pencil. I'm just going to do the same thing, tie it right in the middle. I'm going to let this run behind the trailing hook. Just use a gathering wrap to sort of help it around the shank. Again, just check, make sure you've got good coverage. Take, say 3 or 4 wraps will be enough to secure it. Then you can just fold it back. Get your thread in front. Again, make sure we get everything nicely distributed. Take your time, you're not in any rush. With this bunch, I don't tie back over it. It's as if I'm hollow tying this front section. Just helps to create a wee bit of volume, but keeps it relatively slim, you know. I don't like this to be too bushy. Then we can get ready for some flash. So I'm just using a mix of 3 flashes here. Get some silver holographic, Magnum. Right, I'm using Magnum or salt water flashabou for these this part, because it's going to be coming to the back hook. If you use the fine stuff or crinkly flash or anything like that, it will tangle up. Right, so I've got hollow silver, some pearl, and then the last thing is some metallic pink. You could use holographic pink if you like. Up to you, it's your fly. So once I've got these 3 bunches, oops, misaligned the pink stuff. Just roll them together and they'll start to mix. You can use a brush if need be. Then once you've got a reasonable mixture that you're happy with, you'll notice you've probably already pre-tapered the ends, so you can split that in half. So I've now got just half of that bunch that was pre-mixed. I'll tie this about a 60-40 mix, split I should say. Right, I'll just keep this on top of the shank. But spread reasonably evenly over it. Fold it back. Tie over the top. Again, just make sure, use your thumbnail, get a nice spread of the flash. And what I like to do here is I'll just take a wee bit of super glue and just run it over this. It just stops any chance of it slipping, because that heavy amount of flash does sometimes try to push your thread off it. Same on the underside. 2 or 3 wraps, and you can wrap back so that the rear section of your tie-in meets the back of the tie-in from the bunch that you tied on top of the hook. Again, fold it back. Anything going forward, just sweep it back. Tie that down. This big super flashy pink tail section here. Use a wee hair clip to control all of that. Tidy up. Again, I'll come in with some super glue. Always glue. Right. When you're throwing these at toothy fish, and they need all the help they can get, basically. Right. So once you've got that section done, we can start on the collar. And it's up to you really. Depends how flashy you want it. You need to check. See, I've not got much more space here for this head. As I say, if you were tying it on a bigger hook or a longer shank hook, you could have some flash and then craft fur. Do a couple of dubbing loops, but I don't really have that luxury. So I'm going to just make a dubbing loop, single loop, and this will be for my craft fur collar. Forgot to shut that. Just take my thread forward, get it out of the way. Grab a wee bit of dubbing wax. I always like to wax my dubbing loops just for a bit of extra control with these slick synthetic materials. Otherwise, I'm sure I've mentioned it before, I don't use dubbing wax for just ordinary dubbing. That's not what it's for. So I'm going to get a good amount of pink craft fur here. This is fluorescent pink craft fur. A bit there. And I'll take my dubbing spinner, put it in the loop, and I'll just fill this up. Just take your time, the wax gives you enough control to manipulate this without worrying about it falling out. Just manipulate it, and when you're happy that it's fairly even, you can spin it up. Then when you think it's nice and tight, you can come in with your dog brush or whatever it is that you use. Brush it. That looks quite good. I can wind it forward. Sweeping the fibres back as we go. Trying as best you can not to get them too tangled up, but you're probably going to have to brush it again. Right, I think I'm probably getting to about my limit here, so I'm just going to try a dry fit with the head. And I'll go on at that just. So back my thread off, come across the loop, fold it back, tie over it, and you don't need to worry too much about any of this stuff because it's no seen. But get that locked down nice and secure. And then, I mean, obviously there were trapped fibres, couldn't help it. You just come and brush this. How much you brush it is up to you. You know, I'm willing to take a couple of minutes to, when I can see that there's still fibres stuck in there. I don't mind brushing it for a wee while to get that pink. Sometimes a bodkin is, I mean, I can see some stuff there that the dog brush just isn't lifting, so I'm just going to get my bodkin in and free it. Got a nice collar. So just check that again for a fit. Quite like it. It's fine. So just to secure it a touch, you don't need to go crazy. Wee bit of super glue. Single half hitch is plenty, because this will all be hidden. I like to use a gel based or a gel type super glue for getting the head on, because it gives you a wee bit of extra working time. You don't need to panic. Like with the brushable stuff, you cannot stop moving the head. So I've got a good blob of that on. And then I'll just stick that back. Make sure it's level with the hook. And that's the fly tied, basically. Now this, you can see that I've already airbrushed this head. I mean, you obviously don't need to do that, but I've airbrushed it and coated that, stuck the eyes on, and I coat it with Loon soft head. And I'm going to give it one more coating. Right. Just to kind of protect it. If you use like a UV resin, even the flexible stuff, it just cracks off, because the heads are quite soft. And the flexible resins don't bend enough, or they're not flexible enough to stay on. The Loon soft head takes a bit of time to cure, so you need to stick it on a drying wheel or a bit of foam, but it protects the head much better against the pike's teeth than like say, a thin UV resin or a flexible resin. Just make sure you get a nice coating all over. Don't worry about it if it touches some of your flash or whatever, that's actually fine, that doesn't matter. You just peel it off when it dries, it won't gum up. So that's it. Pike diver. As I say, if you check out my Scottish pike fly fishing video, you'll see this in action. I counted for quite a few fish for me over that trip, so well worth trying out. Shallow water, they'll come up and smash it. As I say, this head and this hook setup, it'll dive and give you a nice very slow nose up float, which I think is part of the key to its success. So I hope that was useful, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up below, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Tight lines guys, bye.